Orange. Big question for you. Does your company's AI agent, the one that writes the emails, drafts the plans, books the meetings, remember what it did last week?
It remembers what's in the chat thread, I guess.
That's it. That's the whole problem. A chatbot can answer a prompt, but it can't remember what the last 5 people asked it, and it can't tell you whether last month's version of the work actually worked. We are building the most powerful tools in corporate history, and they have the memory of a goldfish.
When you put it that way, it does sound kind of tragic.
Welcome to the stateless enterprise. And today, we're digging into one company that decided to fix it, Asana, with a product that gives AI agents a shared memory across the whole company. And the kicker, it does it without leaking your secrets. I'm Banana.
And I'm Orange. This is Beyond Prompting, your daily deep dive into Agentic AI. Today's theme, Enterprise AI. How do you actually take agents from demos to production at scale inside a real organization?
So let's set the scene. Asana's Chief Product Officer, Arnab Bose, sat down with VentureBeat at the VB Transform conference and walked through something called Agentic Work Management, AWM for short. And the problem he's solving is the one I just described. Enterprise AI agents are stateless.
Stateless. Say more.
Right now, any developer can plug a large language model into Slack, Google Drive, or Databricks using Model Context Protocol, MCP. Super easy. But here's what happens. You ask the agent to draft a marketing campaign based on historical performance. It fetches the data, answers the prompt, done. The execution happens in a vacuum. One-off task benefits one person, zero reusable workflow for the next person building a similar campaign.
So the agent is smart, but it's got no institutional memory.
Exactly. Bose's line was that those calls are stateless. They're not leveraging a shared company brain. And that's the phrase to remember. Shared company brain, because Asana's answer is basically to give the agent a brain made out of their own architecture.
Okay, and this is the part I want to understand. How do you build a company brain?
This is the cool part. Asana has an 18-year-old graph database called the Work Graph, organized with the pyramid of clarity. Smallest unit, a task with an assignee and due date. Tasks roll up into projects, projects into portfolios, and portfolios connect to company-wide goals. The graph can trace how a delayed design task impacts a revenue goal, a real-time ledger of who does what, by when, and why.
So instead of the agent reading some random employee's local files,
it's working off a shared ledger for the whole company, not a particular prompt you sent, not one person's local file system. That's what makes it a multiplayer teammate instead of a single-user copilot. It can view company goals, update project statuses, and share memory with human colleagues. And AWM isn't a demo, it's live in production with customers including FedEx.
Okay, but here's my worry. Shared memory across the whole company sounds great until it's creepy. What if an executive is working on a confidential M&A project? Does the agent's memory leak to the next person who talks to it?
That is exactly the question Bose flagged, the boundary problem. If an executive uses the agent for a secret project, the system must make sure the agent's memory doesn't leak context to an unauthorized employee later. His exact words, "You shouldn't be able to leverage shared memory someone else created on a secret M&A project you don't have access to."
So how do they pull that off?
Access controls, engineered at the memory layer. Asana built a system that governs what triggers the creation of a memory versus the simple execution of a task. The agent can do work for you without absorbing privileged context it shouldn't carry into someone else's session. Memory is only safe if permissions are baked into it.
Okay, that's governance. What about the intelligence? If I assign a complex task, does the agent know which model to use?
Here's where it gets fun. Asana does dynamic model routing. The agent cross-references job postings, internal style guides, product requirements, and decides. Complex task, heavy frontier model. Bose named Anthropic's Opus and OpenAI's models. Light task, down-leveled to something faster and cheaper. The knowledge worker never thinks about prompt engineering. It should feel like assigning the task to a human being.
So model routing is invisible. That's a real design philosophy shift.
Exactly. And they made the same move on pricing. Agentic tasks vary wildly in complexity, so credit burn gets unpredictable. Bose said something sharp. If customers can't predict cost, they'll cap how often employees can run an AI teammate. So Asana charges a static cost per task completion. The platform absorbs model selection, token counts, run limits. Predictable pricing, so adoption doesn't get strangled by finance.
Give me a real example. Who's actually running this thing?
Cloud provider CoreWeave, they use AWM for new product launches. Before, product managers filled out complicated forms, infrastructure, parameters, costs, and human reviewers manually broke them into tasks for finance, marketing, and hardware teams. Now, a product manager writes a standard Google Doc. A deterministic workflow reads it, creates the project structure, assigns tasks. Then specialized agents take over. One watches project status and flags bottlenecks. Another forecasts infrastructure costs and recommends approvals when numbers line up with historical budgets. Humans focus on evaluating the AI's outputs.
So humans move from doing the work to judging the work. That's the agentic mindset shift in one sentence.
It is. And Bose is honest about the competition. Anthropic and OpenAI ship their own agent products, like Claude and Slack. His argument? There's a big difference between a powerful model plus a lightweight demo and something pre-built for true end-to-end use. 18 years of workflow data and pre-built operating procedures beat a raw frontier model with a nice interface.
Okay, takeaways. What do we tell an organization that wants to do this?
Excitedly, 3 things. 1. Context graph beats prompt engineering. The moat isn't the model, it's the company brain the agent plugs into. 2. Shared memory is only safe with a permission layer. Without access controls, you're building a leak. 3. Predictable cost is an adoption feature. If people can't predict what an agent run costs, they'll stop using it.
And the human job becomes evaluation, checking the agent's work against goals, not doing the busy work.
That's the whole show, folks. Enterprises are moving from stateless chat to stateful teammates. The companies that figure out memory, permissions, and pricing first are going to run the table.
That's it for today's Enterprise AI edition. Tune in tomorrow when we're talking future of work. What happens to team structures when agents join the org chart?
2 cartoon fruits, 1 serious take on where AI is heading. We're beyond prompting. See you tomorrow.
Subscribe, drop a comment, and tell us, does your company's AI agent remember anything?
Bye.